I think I'll just put together a summary of things that happened after we left Bremerton. But while we were doing all of our sea trials and everything up there, one of the first exciting things that happened was we had a really poor navigator. And while we were cruising up past Seattle and waiting to hit the Straits of Juan de Fuca to make our turn, he was looking through the periscope and spotted two houses on the shoreline near Bangor, and said that those are the channel buoys, we need to turn now. And everybody was screaming, no, not now. We were plotting our position and we knew where we were. Yeah, but he insisted, we made the turn, and then we watched the fathometer go screeching almost straight up. And, and we finally threw it into reverse and managed to not run aground, but the skipper took the navigator and threw him off the con. But he did this numerous times after that. So anyway, one of the next events that happened was when we were going through the canal, a Chinese freighter, as we were going across, I guess it's Gatan Lake in the middle there, he turned and went on our side of the channel, and I was up topside at the time shooting movie pictures. And next thing I knew, we were in the mud. The mud was flying off the screw, which I took a picture of, and I watched the channel buoy go down the port side of the ship. It came up out of the water and went horizontal. So that was exciting. Then after that, we went up to the Cape to do our test firing, and it just happened to be the time that they were launching Apollo 17. So we had a nice evening. We watched Apollo 17, which was the only night launch of an Apollo mission. And it was very interesting seeing all the birds go nuts when the flames from the Saturn IV went off, and it lifted up and just went from nighttime to daytime. But the excitement came the next morning when we were supposed to go out and do our test firing. Well, we went out, the destroyer from Mayport followed us out there, and it started out to be a little bit rough, but then it got worse. And we had that big 80-foot mast sitting up on top of the sail, which made us a bit unstable as we dove and surfaced. Well, we made the dive just fine, but then right after we fired, we got a message from the destroyer that they were taking on water, and they wanted us to surface and rescue their crew. And when we came up, the boat took about a 45-degree angle as it rolled over, almost on its side, and we were walking on the bulkheads. Then we managed to stabilize it and just followed the destroyer back into port. They ended up being just fine, but it was pretty exciting for a while. And the next big thing happened was we went to do our first patrol out of Rhoda, and we went out and did a test firing with one of the test torpedoes. And as we all know, the anti-circle device is supposed to keep the torpedo from coming back at you. Well, ours turned around, and it came back, and it just kind of dinged all the way down the side of the submarine, and then stuck in the screw, which jammed the screw, which stopped the turbines, which scrammed the reactor, and we went kind of into a spin, and I sat there and in front of the sends and watched the fathometer on it start going faster and faster as we went deeper and deeper, and it didn't slow down until we hit crush depth. And then they finally were able to get control again and bring us back up. But we found out when we got into port that all of our wives had been notified that we were lost at sea. And so they were all panicked when we got back in, and everybody had to explain that no, we weren't gone. We were really alive. But anyway, that was kind of how things started on our first effort right after the yard. So that's all I got.
Yeah, pick a name out of there.